Alrighty, I just wanted to do a sort of shout out and a thank you to Wargaming for the Onslaught event. I actually thought it was great, I thought it was achievable, and I thought that if you purchased the pass for £5 I think it was in UK currency, I thought it was also outstanding value for that amount of entertainment. Now I know a lot of free-to-play players who didn't purchase the battle pass and basically have ground through, got the tank, got the thunder, I think 2 days behind me. Good players who win a lot of games and know what they're doing, but effectively the event was set out, it was good value and eminently achievable. So well done to Wargaming. The reason I bought the pass, I didn't really need to, was because I wanted to incentivise them to do more of the same. And I've kind of long said it would be better if, rather than selling tanks in crates or tanks for £45 or whatever it is, or why not reasonably price things and just sell more of them? You know, things like attachments should just be £1, whatever. You know, camo, stuff like that you can flog that off dirt cheap. I think that they should look at their pricing model, and what I'm saying is let's give them some positive encouragement when they do something right. I think they've done something right here. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, leave feedback. But they are a business, so you know, let's make them some money, but in the right way, not by, you know, developing OP premium cheating tanks. To be honest, you know, like the Smasher. Don't get me started on the Smasher. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, well done to Wargaming. I'm going to show a couple of games on Castilla, just on the sort of loose theme of crazy RNGs that you get sometime. So in the first game, I'm going to get a lot of unwarranted damage, and you're going to see how. What we've done is we've pushed round the side here, both Ali Chap and I, because we want the VKs out the game, and the reason for that is that they are from the Dad's clan, both really good players, and we want them gone, because if they're left alone up there with light tank camo, seriously, they will farm up a huge amount of damage on people who have no idea what's going on most of the time. So I've pushed around here, and it's a compliment to them. We know how good they are. I've pushed around here specifically to cover this flank and give them a hard time, which I've kind of done. And then I found this Panther, and I'm just going to give him a word of pain. So that's that. So far so good kind of thing. As a side note to the tank that I'm driving, the Vk36.01H, catchily named, I'm driving it with the stock gun, you may have noticed, and that is because I was talking to the Marvel and he said, why don't you try it with that gun? And I said, well, why would I do that? He says, well, for a start, the pen's better, which it is. The pen is much better on this gun. And he said, for a second start, the DPM is just insane. And if you really start to think about tier 6, it is a crazy tier. It is just mad, some of the stuff that goes on. And if you look at this tank in particular, what people tend to do is sit in front of it because they're trying to get the bottom plate, or they're trying to go through the hatch on the top. And they've really got to sit there and aim. Well, you see, thing is, when you've got a gun with insane DPM, whilst they're doing that, you can absolutely farm them up deluxe. The second thing with it is that people almost sort of expect you to run the top gun, so if they're not paying attention, they're counting on quite a long reload cycle, and in fact you don't have a very long reload cycle at all. You can just sit there and clout them. So that's all good. In terms of the game, the HTC's pushed right into the middle there, and he's doing the right thing by dealing with the Tiger, because that's a nasty tank, but he isn't actually doing the right thing from the point of view that he's got a Jackson farming his side, and you really don't want to be side on to anything in that tank, and on top he doesn't seem to have the ability to turn or particularly deal with it. So I'm going to go and deal with the Jackson, and here we go. This is what I mean. The Jackson's having a lovely tunnel there, but just watch me burn this down. Watch the reload. It is just pretty much insane for a heavy tank at this tier, and the damage isn't half bad. It's knocking out 170, 180 a shot. I mean, you can't really complain. Anyway, here's where I'm about to get lucky in this game, and that is that there's a AMX left, and you'll notice in chat the Dad's guys, who we know pretty well over the years, are going to make some comments, which is just quite funny. And they're basically going to say, "He's noob," and I'm like, "Okay," and they tell me I've got it easy, and I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And like I said, I know them. I know they're not just, this isn't gamesmanship. They're not, they're not trying to make me overconfident. They're just tearing their hair out over what's just occurred in this game. So there we are. But I am, let's be fair, in a tier 6 German tank against a tier 7 French heavy. So let's see what occurs, shall we? So I drive along here. I've got a fairly good idea where he should be. I actually think he's going to be camping on the hill or pushing towards cap. And unfortunately for him, again, let's be fair, he gets caught just in the wrong place. But what he doesn't do is front up his armour. He just sits there. Now, to be fair, again, I've tracked him, and with this gun, once I finish just getting my angles right, there we go, I've got my angles right now, I can just perma-track him. He's already busted his repair kit, and this has turned a average 1.6k 2k game into what's going to be an ace. And it's just luck, isn't it? It's just outrageous RNGesus. And there we go. And sometimes you get that, don't you? And you might have a tank where you're not actually very good in it, but you just have that one sort of game where you get an AFK, or you get some kid turn side on. By the way, in fairness to the AMX, he did do 2.1k damage, so I guess he probably camped his heavy at the top there and didn't really be the heavy tank that he could have been. But to be fair, if the rest of his team had done that damage, they would have won. So there you go. But thanks to him for his hit pool. The second game, just to show that you can rant at life, or you can rant at blitz, and you can rant at unfairness and things that aren't justified, is going to be a loss. And the reason it's going to be a loss is effectively the WZ110 on our team. He's basically already said lose or loss, and I've already said to him positive then. Tiger said there is only one way, and that is A, and I'm like, okay. But basically I'm going to go push the top of Castilla. I'm a rare human being in the sense that I like the Panther II. It doesn't traverse well, it doesn't have great armour, it doesn't have insane DPM, it has the worst camouflage in the game for a medium tank. It just basically overall statistically sucks. But actually I like playing it because I'm weird, so I'm playing it in ratings and trying to ace it and just doing my best. It's a support tank, so I'm going to play it in a support role. So I'm going to go up to the top of Castilla and spot up. And what's gone on with the WZ is he's decided at the beginning of the game that the team are going to lose, and therefore he's just stopped. He's literally stopped playing. He's gone to the camping spot that looks over A, and that's it for him. That's it. He's thrown his toys out the pram and he's gone home in a big girly sulk because he was the last to be picked in the football team, or he's on his period, or I don't know what's up with him. He's just a very unhappy young man. So he might well have a point about, if you like, the tactics such as they're deployed by the team here. I mean, it is going to be an absolute total and utter debacle. And in a bit, most of them are going to go, well, let's have a look at it. You've got some over on their own by sort of B and C. You've got heavy tank that's pushed all the way around here, and then you're going to have some pretty interesting decision making that's going to occur when these kiddies are going to head down towards cap and get wiped out. And there you go. The camo and armour is bloody awful in this tank. You've got to play it from the back, and for all of that, that's what I'm doing. I'm farming a hell of a lot of damage just by firing down here, moving backwards and forwards. This shot goes in, I get that at the end. and I'm going to end up on a pretty damn respectable damage total in the Panther 2 at the end of this game. But what sort of really got to me about this game, and it's a bit like the Dad's guys in the previous games, you know, if that AMX had just been a little bit better, if he'd just pushed, if he had just helped the Jackson, if he had just angled his armour, if he had just not got permatracked at the end, you know, that should have been a fairly comfortable win for that team. In this game, you got to be honest, it's a much closer or less winnable scenario. I mean, if you look at, you know, you're a 5-on-3, but for all of that, I'm actually a reasonably good player, and I am going to make a truckload of damage here, just basically holding this corner. If the WZ110 is in this game, bearing in mind he's got what, 1,200 hit points, he's got a gun that will knock out what, 400 alpha. I mean, I don't own one, it's a gold-plated tank, but if he plays this game from the start, and perhaps if he had moved from spawn, come down here, supported me, or even just covered me, we could have honestly won this game. I'm not being optimistic. You look at the amount of 1-shots, 2-shots that are left on this map, especially for the gun that tank's got. This could and should be a win, but he's just decided that, like, it's not going to be, so he's just sulked and gone home. And it does make me quite cross, because you sort of look at it and you go, I don't really care if you're crap, and that's your business, but what I sort of do care about is just, you know, not trying. You know, when they don't try, they just take the ball home and sulk. It's like, well, at least try. I mean, I hope he looked at this game at the end and went, oh, that Panther's actually done 3k, so actually, if I'd played, we might have had a chance to win. Maybe I won't be such a stroppy little tool next time. You know, I'm playing a team game. But anyway, what I've done here is I don't want the object. I knew the object would come for me, so I've attempted to get out of the way. But the Panther isn't the world's best tank, and it really doesn't have the world's best camo. So I'm going to go down here, and what I'm thinking about doing is actually going C. I'm hoping their TD's pushing down towards spawn. I'm hoping the WZ might actually start playing. I'm hoping a lot of things. So I'm just going to push around here towards C. As I come around here, what do I find? Yeah, alright, yeah, fair enough. Bang. And there's the broke. Sometimes you got to take an educated guess about, you know, what you should be doing. And there you go, there's the WZ at the end. And now it's my turn to have some bad matchmaking and some bad RNGesus and some tools on my team. And that's the way it goes, isn't it? Do you not think it evens out? You know, like in the first game, didn't really deserve the ace that I got. The Dad's guys probably didn't deserve to lose. That's life, innit? In this game, I will have done over 3k in a pretty damn average German medium tank. And if this kiddie hadn't just decided that he wasn't playing, perhaps we could have won the game. I mean, in the end, who cares? It's ratings, but you know what I mean. That's the way it goes. So anyway, overall, I hope you enjoyed those games. I found them both personally quite amusing for different reasons. I showed this tools bloody profile at the end, so everyone can see what a total and utter bellend is, and that's that. So in summary, there you go. Well done to Wargaming for the event. Really good job. Maybe take the positive incentivisation of selling all those battle passes at fairly cheap prices, and have a good think about what else they could do, you know, along similar themes, as opposed to flogging crates and super expensive camo and ladders for the size of Borsigs for ridiculous prices. Anyway, there he is, total tool. Hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.